And then she's like, he wanted to have sex and she refused. I mean, if it's the first night, maybe the argument is hot. The second night, but if it's like, oh, we're going through a phase and it's been a couple of weeks and I've been saying no, and then he came and forced me. I don't think I'll be on her side, man. There's nothing. Why is your husband forcing you to have sex? He's not forcing you to have sex. Why did you not give it to him? I know you're not happy with him. Why don't you just spread your legs and let him do what he got to do?
So, should Nigeria finally make marital rape illegal?
So marital rape, meaning that husband, because when you hear rape, most of the time it's the male that's the aggressor. So husband wants to have sex, but wife says no, and then husband now forces the wife into the sexual encounter. This is the thing, right? Your marriage is either between husband, wife, and God, or husband, wife, and government. In modern times, the government has tried to replace God in the marital structure. And yes, even though a marriage is not valid until you go to court, but let it be that. They say 3 heads are better than 2. When God is in marriage, problems are few. You really don't want government to replace God, the God element in your marriage. So, according to the Bible, it says the woman's body belongs to her husband, and the husband's body belongs to the wife. The gender that can weaponize sex the most is the woman, because men are horny dogs. They want it, they want it. So a woman can weaponize sex. If she leaves herself unchecked, she can use that to start another drama in the whole relationship. I have a whole video where I spoke about sex toys and everything. If the woman, and in that video I explained that a woman can have sex toys, I think a married woman can have sex toys, but she needs to involve her husband. It should be something they use to enhance their sexual life. But if the woman is going to do or pleasure herself behind her husband, then she's causing a divide in the marriage. So yes, the government is there to protect you and have all these divorce laws in place. Yes, I do understand. But in the daily workings of your marriage, you really don't want government to replace God. Let government go and stay there. Lawyers, attorneys, and all these shit, they can fight for your rights, but they will not fight for your happiness. They can help you secure that divorce terms and conditions. You can live with half or even more than half if you want. But happiness, they don't guarantee it. Your happiness is your own freaking problem. So when you start saying should marital rape be made illegal and something, you are really bringing a third party into your marriage that doesn't give a shit about whether you're happy or not. So this thing goes back to husband and wife applying sense. If a woman is weaponizing sex, it is terrible, it is dangerous, and it is crap. That's my take on it.
So, in a situation where the wife has had a very stressful day at work and she comes back home and she doesn't just feel like having sex at that point in time because she's already tired, but her husband is already excited and wants to have sex with her. So, what happens at that point in time when the husband comes all on her and makes it forceful? What happens at that point in time?
If a woman comes back from work, she's had a long day, she's exhausted, and then the husband wants sex. Yeah, I mean, so all these things are very relative. Like, if she has not given the guy sex for the last 4 weeks, then he's definitely bound to be like, but you're always saying no, And there are a lot of men in sexless marriages. There are a lot of men that their woman she just gives an excuse every night or the other. She keeps giving an excuse. So in that case, of course, I would not advise the guy, because I'm very big on man earning respect from their woman, a man earning respect from his woman. So I won't advise the guy to even force her. But then, some guys really just need it. Sex is food. For men, it's like food sometimes. And if he's not getting it from outside, he wants it from his woman, and she's saying no. And he feels like, yo, I can't even control my own woman. So if he forces her, I mean, will I say it's not rape? It is, but if we want to go down that logical path, but do we really want to do that? Women, don't weaponize sex. Don't weaponize sex, man. Just don't try it.
So in the time of the traditional olden days people, where we had points where a man can have like multiple women, and when we talked about the king that we had with Esther, right? So when the wife, he called her to come and stay with him for the night, and she refused to come. The next thing he did was to call his kinsmen and tell them that, see, what should I do to this wife of mine that has decided not to come when I called her?
Yeah.
That was before Esther was brought into the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So it has been there from the olden days that the men have always had a right over the woman's body, right? And that was the reason why Queen Esther came into the picture. Mm-hmm. So if that has always been happening, that means that men currently have like that power over their wife and being able to get in whenever they want to get in, regardless of how she feels at that point in time. So for me, I'll ask, my question is, why isn't that still possible till now, since we're still in that same system where I've already paid for her bride price, I've already gone to her family, I've taken her to be my wife. So what is the difference there?
I mean, so I would say in these modern times, because we're in the age of the New Testament, right? So in 1 Corinthians 7 verse 4, it says that the husband does not have authority over his own body, but his wife does. The wife doesn't have authority over her own body, but the husband does. So I think both of them have authority over the other person's body. I think that's how it is right now. And that's the formula we're following as our religion. That's what it says. So at the end of the day, is that you don't want to weaponize or starve your partner over what should rightfully be theirs. Your body is rightfully your husband's own, and his body is rightfully yours. Now, women are the ones who have a higher tendency to weaponize sex. We all know that men are hungry. I mean, women are hungry for sex too, but men they always want it more because men are ovulating 24 hours a day. Women, they have highs and lows. So, if a woman deprives her husband and he forces his way, in a way, it's him trying to claim his territory. It's not like any man wakes up and he just wants to rape his wife. He just wants to claim his territory, like, this is my territory. I'm struggling with saying there's something like marital rape. I'm struggling with it. I don't want any guy, if a man calls me and says his wife don't give him sex, I won't say force her. But to tell me that if they force you people should comment before I go and talk, waiting to make them converse for me.
How do you define consent inside the marriage?
We fall into this trap of analyzing a marital relationship like his boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. And that is just ridiculous. Consent in a boyfriend relationship is different from consent in a relationship where we've made vows, where we've signed on the dotted lines that we belong to each other. Of course, it still pretty much follows the same ideology, right? But there's something called marital prostitution, right? There's something like marital prostitution in cases where the woman is just not flirting with her husband because he's not giving her money at the moment. And the guy comes home and is like, oh, okay, that bag you wanted to buy. Oh, that holiday you want to go on. Okay, here's the money. And because of that, she opens legs that night. And it still comes back to the same thing when we say women are the ones that have a tendency to weaponize sex. Please, women, I beg of you, no matter how pissed off you are at your husband, no matter how angry you are at him, no matter how much you guys are not in the same mental space at the moment, do not use sex as something to fight. If you have to buy lubricants because you're not getting wet, buy lubricants, but just give that your service to the guy. If the guy is being an asshole, then there are other ways you can find to deal with it. If the guy is promiscuous and you're scared of him giving it infection, then tell him to use a condom. Insist that he must use a condom. That's a valid one. But to say you just want to refuse sex altogether, I mean, there are times when you are just not in the mood, and that's understandable. But what I'm touching on is not those times when you are just not in the mood, or just those times when you are really hurt about something, but when you begin to use it as a weapon. Don't fall into that trap, because the devil will seduce you to do that.
Imagine your daughter is forced by her husband. Would you still say it's not rape?
I mean, if she tells me her husband forced her, I'll say, how did he force you to have sex with him? Like, what if she tells me they are constantly having arguments on something, maybe money, maybe some life choices, and then she's like, he wanted to have sex and she refused. I mean, if it's the first night, maybe the argument is hot. The second night, but if it's like, oh, we're going through a phase and it's been a couple of weeks and I've been saying no, and then he came and forced me, I don't think I'll be on her side, man. There's nothing. Why is your husband forcing you to have sex? He's not forcing you to have sex. Why did you not give it to him? I know you're not happy with him. Why don't you just spread your legs and let him do what he got to do? Men don't even cook the last 2 minutes, don't go. Let him do what he had to do. You married to him. You said I do. You made a vow. You said for better, for worse. You guys think for better, for worse is a joke. This is the for worse now. This is the moment of the for worse. We're not seeing eye to eye. Sometimes your man will still provide for you despite the fact that you're not seeing eye to eye. He will be an asshole if he says, I'm not dropping money for you because we're not seeing eye to eye. Do you understand? So open your damn legs for your husband and let him do what he has to do, man.
So does saying I do mean I give up my right to say no forever?
Saying I do does not mean you give up your right to say no. This is not 2 + 2, 1 + 1. You can say no. You can fight. You can be angry. You can be out of the mood. But it cannot be a lifestyle. There are people who have not had sex with their husband in 8 months, in 1 year, and it starts from one pattern to another till it becomes a habit. That is how it starts. So no, nobody's telling you to give up your rights. But if my own daughter should come and tell me that her husband forced her and she's trying to time it as rape, and I was like, oh, when did you give this guy last? Say, oh, we're going through a phase now. You know, we've not been happy with each other, and it's been 2 months. I'm not giving him. Go back and give him more. Go and give him more. It's your husband.
Do you think the law should protect all individuals equally, both married or not, in terms of this same
Marital rape?
Yes.
I think the law has to do what the law has to do. Give unto Caesar what is Caesar. Give unto God what is God. So the law has to state it there. Maybe marital rape, there's something called that, right? Okay, yes, there can be marital rape, there can be this or that. I mean, please, let's talk within marriage, because outside marriage is rape straight. Carry the guy and go. What are you forcing? You can't come and say, my girlfriend did not give me sex, and then I force her. I'm talking marriage. It's a different university entirely. So in the husband and wife context, yes, Caesar should still have his own law. But please, you as your husband and wife, let God be the ruler of your marriage. So under God's law, you don't have authority over your body. Your partner does. Both the man and the woman. So in your marriage, let God have authority. If you know that you know to like God's style, fine, go and meet Caesar then and carry your husband to prison. But if you are going to go by the vow that you made, then it is what it is. Caesar is there, but stop this thing, Joe. It's rough play.